All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I'm going to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Machakodash. Say, Barakati Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Barakati Yahweh, Brakti Yahushai, Bahashem, Machakodash. And we give double honors to our apostles and our elders, which are the apostle elders, a great millstone, which feed us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Yahushai. 2025, which is the hopeful year of our deliverance and the judgment and the destruction of Esau. Man, let's jump into it. MOTB again, the Mark Wahlberg, the Marky Mark. All right, I seen this video come up in my feed because this is it's prevalent, and at this point, that's why it says, "Let the righteous be righteous and the wicked be wicked." You know, I'm paraphrasing because so much information has come out with this, and it's a warning. That's why the Lord said, "He revealeth the secrets to the servants, the prophets." The Most High would not let something out on this magnitude that would cause impending danger. That means it's a certified fact. If you take this, there is no going back. There is no reneging. There is no reversal. Just like, and I made the comparison, when you take that chip, it's likened unto you a woman losing her hymen, which is the token of her virginity. Okay, when you take that mark, that's why blood is involved. Blood is involved in taking the MOTB, regardless if it's brain surgery or if it's the hypodermic needle. They still have a bloodletting that happens with that. It would say that for no without blood there is no remission of sins. So the same thing. Why do you think the left hand side deals with blood sacrifices? They know that you can sacrifice certain things to gain certain powers, gain certain worship of a god. So they're well aware of these things. And for Jake to be so ignorant of the left, that means you haven't studied your enemy. The same thing with the art of war. You must know your enemy. That way you can know what tactics he's going to use to get you to succumb under his will. And this man he's suicidal. He knows he's gonna lose. That's why the Lord said they durst still fight. They're doing it now. If that scripture we always put when these fighter jets, these military men are gonna see the chariots and they're gonna fight. So if the Lord can put the spirit on them to do that when they see impending danger, they see the majesty of the Lord's vehicles, they see these things and they still gonna fight. What makes you think that they're gonna deviate from these prophecies? They know they're fulfilling scriptures, but they keep going. They're not stopping. They might try to make the plan a little different. They might package it up in a way that'll be easier, be palatable, but they're still moving towards the goal of what? The MOTB. They don't have a choice. They are created for this task. They didn't. Esau's not gonna go chill and work at Costco and let the world be, and he's just gonna, go back to eating juniper roots and call it a day. He don't have a choice. He was created for this purpose. That's why it says in Obadiah that he's gonna be put away. He's gonna be totally annihilated after the prophecies, after the 1,000 years is fulfilled, because his purpose is served, which is a righteous thing. That means he can go ahead and rest. No more slavery for the Edomites. The Edomites will be released, okay? But they're not going to be released into the earth. They're going to be released into the spirit world, which the spirit world is paradise, man. Okay? So that's his severance package, is to be able to go into the spirit world and not be a demon anymore, okay? But the main point of this video I'm getting ready to play is Klaus Schwab, okay? Schwabi, okay? The guy that, and it's funny, these elites that try to dictate the world and they try to run all these things, they can't even dance, man. They can't even control their rhythm in their body to be able to dance, but they want to control creation itself and call themselves gods, okay? Because one thing about God-like people, the rhythm is in there. Even animalistic animals have rhythm. But let's play this. I'm not trying to say any, but the fact is here. I've dealt with people of, wealth and jobs that I've worked, and they're not nothing special. They'll tell you themselves. They idolize Jake. They look at you with admiration because they can't go buy what you have. They can buy everything else, but they can't buy your charisma. They can't buy just our spirit. Our spirit is different. That's why it says in the scriptures, there's two manner of people in thy womb, and two manner of shall be separated from thy bowels. We're not like these other nations, especially not like Esau. So let's go ahead and play this. I'm going to read it. This is fair use, fair use. This is Mr. Swab talking about the implant of the microchip in the mind. So this is them talking about it. This is not us bringing it out. But don't listen to these other Israelite camps that don't. They're not subscribed to that so-called breakdown, because they're not being informed into the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that Yahweh Shem Yahshua is giving out, man. Okay.
Dans les 10 années à venir. Et d'abord, on va les implanter dans nos vêtements, c'est-à-dire wearables, comme on le dit. Et après, on pourrait s'imaginer qu'on les implante dans nos cerveaux ou dans notre peau. Et à la fin, peut-être il y a une communication directe entre notre cerveau et le monde digital. Ce que nous voyons, c'est une sorte de fusion du monde physique, digital et biologique.
On appelle quelqu'un, on n'a même plus le réflexe de devoir prendre un appareil, ça se fait naturellement. La technique continue le corps.
Ce que nous voyons, c'est une sorte de fusion du monde physique, digital et biologique.
On appelle quelqu'un, on n'a même plus le réflexe de devoir prendre un appareil, ça se fait naturellement. La technique continue. On appelle quelqu'un, on n'a même plus le réflexe de devoir prendre un appareil, ça se fait naturellement. La technique continue le corps.
Oui, vous parlez, vous dites, je veux maintenant être connecté avec n'importe qui. Et d'abord, vous avez les robots personnalisés, et j'ai vu que M. Zuckerberg
Réflexe de devoir prendre un appareil, ça se fait naturellement. La technique continue le corps.
Oui, vous parlez, vous dites, je veux maintenant être connecté avec n'importe qui. Et d'abord, vous avez les robots personnalisés, et j'ai vu que M. Zuckerberg a prédit qu'à la fin de l'année, il va avoir son robot, son butler personnalisé qui est à sa disposition.
Donc, comme dans Downton Abbey, on aura son butler personnel, son serviteur, son...
Les robots personnalisés, et j'ai vu que M. Zuckerberg a prédit qu'à la fin de l'année, il va avoir son robot, son butler personnalisé qui est à sa disposition.
Donc, comme dans Downton Abbey, on aura son butler personnel, son serviteur, son esclave.
Oui, mais il y a une différence. C'est un serviteur qui, avec l'intelligence artificielle, apprend, et qui n'est pas seulement votre assistant pour des travaux manuels, qui peut vraiment être un partenaire intellectuel de vous.
Au bout de ça, on parle de plus qu'on pourra s'implanter. Ce sera quand, ça?
This is not something, and this was in 2016. This was an interview in 2016. Look where we're at today. There's a plan. This guy's, he's working with the ones on the higher ups. Okay, so we're telling you and prophesying, just like Elijah knew things that were happening prior to them taking place. The Lord has led us into the secrets, and Esau has no connection with the scriptures, and he has no connection with the Rakha. So he doesn't have a spiritual fortitude when it comes to, okay, he doesn't even believe in the Most High, so why would he believe in, he and that's his part of his magic. That's what he believes in. That's his God. That's his magnum opus, his great work. You know, just like an artist, he has an intense love for his craft. Esau has an intense love for the craft of technology. That's what's brought him to where he's sitting at today. That's why he puts all his cards and his eggs and his ducks in one row and his eggs in one basket when it comes to this technology, because he believes that he's seen the fruits of the labor and he wants to intensify it, and he feels that he can gain some kind of godhood through that. But that's all the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua pushing him to that point. But the main point is the spirit. The spirit controls everything, energy, okay? And that's it. That's spiritual in itself. That's why the manipulating of elements is an energetical thing. So we're not going to make it too long. I just got an article to bring out too. It says, this is an article. Let's go to the top. It says, This from 2010, so it's an older article, but there's some interesting points I wanted to bring out. It says, what will the world look like? It says the implantable RFID microchip and the mark of the beast. Let's roll down here. It says, we know from the Bible prophecy that people will require to take a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. This is known as the mark of the beast. And you got to know what the beast is, okay? If you don't know what the beast is, then you won't be able to point out his mark. That's why they don't, the beast doesn't acknowledge that he is a beast. He's just thinking that he's living. Just like those other nations and empires, going back to the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, didn't know that they were prophets. They were prophesied to come in the Hebrew, the Hebrew Bible. So the same thing, where the difference that you can point out is Alexander the Great. We call him the creeper. Okay, Alexander, he was brought up and taught how to speak Hebrew. He knew, he had a respect of the Hebrew people, the Israelite people, but what he was set up to do a certain act. That's why he was broken down who you are in prophecy. That's showing you these other nations had a pseudo prophecy. It wasn't the fullness. That's like going back to Balak and Balaam. Certain of these witchcraft magicians and witches, they can see into the spirit world. They can see certain of those things. That's why you have psychics and all these kinds of BS that's out here. So they can tap into the left-hand side, but there's a difference between the left and the right. Going through the straight gate, which is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's dealing directly with his people. That has access to him. Because not everyone can go into the holies of holies. That's why the Lord said that the Israelites will become a nation of kings and priests. Okay, they'll be able to go into the holies of the holies, which is coming through the straight gate, which is coming through the right way, through Yahweh's sacrifice. They're able to be the priesthood of the Most High. But everybody else, they have to be on the outer court. Even dealing with the Israelites, the Levitical priest line was able to go into the holies of holies. So even in the God's chosen, there was a chosen that could only go through that threshold. Okay, so what makes you think now that everybody can just do what they want? They can just, hop in there. No, you can look through the window, you can peek through the window, but you ain't going into the holies of holies the right way. So you're always going to be a thief and a robber. That's what the scriptures say, if you don't come through the straight gate. So those that don't come through the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding the right way, you're halfway crooking it. You're not the real deal. You're not the real McCoy. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua has given the authority and the blessing to the Israelites to be the nation of priests and kings under the order of Melchizedek, going back to Yahweh Shai himself, which is the head chief. He's the chief priest. He's the high priest he's the high priest on high. Okay, that's why he's sitting at the right hand of the Heavenly Father. These guys go through the left. So left-handed witchcraft, they have access to the power, but not the fullness of it. It says, we know from Bible prophecy that people will be required to take a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. This is known as the mark of the beast. With it, no one can be able to buy or sell. Revelations 13:16-17, which we know very well. The Bible warns Christians not to take this mark. So the Bible's warning these guys, but then you warn Jake, and Jake don't want to take the warning and say it's something else. The Bible itself is warning. That's why we're reading it. But Jake want to take it personal and say, oh, you guys are going off, or we don't know what we're talking about. Then what is it? Because sin has been around since the Garden of Eden. So it's not talking about sin. Sin came through Cain. He was the first murderer. Okay? Sin was in the garden. That's why Adam and Eve was kicked out of the garden. That's why the angel with the flaming sword was set in the entrance of the garden. We've been getting kicked out of our land, going back to the Garden of Eden. So it ain't talking about sin. Sin has been around. Everybody's been under sin. This creature was made subject unto vanity. So it can't be sin, because sin has been around since the beginning, back to Genesis. So if sin was the mark, and sin in all of its ways, that means all of us would add the mark, and none of us can make it. Because if you receive that mark, You shall have your place in the lake of fire, which is the thermonuclear destruction and the judgment from Yahushua and the angels that are going to be upon the earth, just like in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah. The angels judged that. That was a judgment. They burnt those people. They burnt the 5 cities. That was a cleansing right there on the earth. Just like you burn out parasitic or an infection. If there's too many bodies, you got to burn the body so the infection doesn't continue. Because fire is a cleansing agent. Those people were debaucherous, weirdo, sinful people. They weren't innocent. If you read up Sodom and Gomorrah, what they were doing, they would take travelers and they would rape them and they would put them in the court, the main court, and hang them in a cage. And they would torture them up there. That's what they were known for, man. It was a dangerous and debaucherous city, man. That's why they came in. They said the young, the old, those. Why did it make a point to make specific points on what age group it was? The old, the young, the chief people, because that means everybody was infected with that debaucherous, homosexual, rape energy. That was that spirit that was in there, man. It was a well-known thing they were doing. That's why when the angels came to the city, Lot was like, you can't stay in the streets. You cannot. Just like certain places in Babylon, you can't go after night. If you stay in the city for after night, you will be robbed or even worse. And you go to certain sundown towns. If you a Jake or you a person of color or another nation, you go to them towns, you're going to be fucked with, man. Okay? So this is something that was happening in the ancient world. It says, the technology for marking and tracking produce has been rapidly advancing. It is physically possible to mark and track a product from its shipping point all the way to its home by using RFID. That's why they've been dry running it. They know it can work. They know the technology can work. They can track you. They've been improving different methods. They can tell the temperature of the meat. I'm sure there's all types of things RFID can track. And then now they say, yeah, we got it perfected. Now we can put it in the bodies of people. That's why it's being put out now. A lot of people have been taking these marks as a fashion statement, going back over to, I think it was the Germans or something over there in Germany. But it's being pushed on a low scale. This is the you have a trial. Certain people get to try out a product before it goes mainstream. Okay, it says for years, pet owners have been giving the option to purchase an RFID tag to place either on the animal's collar or to be inserted into the animal's body. This is used to identify and locate the animal if ever lost or stolen. What is an RFID microchip? So what are we talking about? What is an RFID radio frequency identification microchip? And how does it work? I cannot give a specific explanation. This is 2010. We can do it now on the inner workings of this developing technology, but I will give a very brief explanation. For a better understanding on how RFID works, you can go to spychips.com. Microchips is a miniaturized set of electronic components going into nanotech on a single unit, sometimes called a micro circuit board, capable of storing data. Microchips with the addition of a built-in antenna is known as an RFID tag. These tags can be placed on or implemented into products, animals, and people for the purpose of identifying, tracking using radio frequency waves. Now it's going into mining, data mining, because how are they gonna make money off of this? They're not gonna. Cash is fading out. Cash is gonna be a thing of the past. So what are they gonna do when they have all these people chipped and have these people tagged up? That's why you have cryptocurrency system using body activity. Okay. Let's look. This is from the Gates guy. Okay. Let's read up, because you have to know that this coming technology is already prepped with something else, because that's why cryptocurrency goes to mining. How are you mining the cryptocurrency? You have CPU units, computers, all they do is run all day and mine crypto. Okay. So let's read it. It says, cryptocurrency system using body activity data. It says, human body activity associated with a task provides to a user may be used in a mining process of the cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicative coupled to the server. The sensor communicative coupled to our components in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sense body activity of the user. The crypto system's commutative coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data suffices one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system, and awards cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. See, going back to that movie with Justin Timberlake, where he had the time. It was about time. That was going into, if you do a task, you get more time. You get to live more as a servitude. And look right here. Unit, the person, sensor, user device, communicate through the cloud into the other cloud. So it's cloud. All these things have been gradually being built. The framework of the prison is being built right when the prisoners are in the open. Imagine you don't get sentenced to prison. The prison is built around you. That's what's been happening. The prison has been built by the movements and the technology that comes out of the very people that are going to be enslaved under the system. Okay? So this is the mining, and it's already patented. These are patented. 606. It's not coincidence, the numbers, man. They can't even go off the numbers because they are being led by prophecy, not by their own means, not by their own power. They're being led under the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua to do what they're doing. Okay, this is Revelations 13 and verse 16. Well-known verse, but let's read it in the amplified version. Also, he compels. What is the word compel? The word compel means third person, force or obligate, bring about something by the use of force or pressure. So they're going to compel you to go and take that thing. They're going to force you. It's going to be mandated. It's going to be mandatory. It's going to be, first is going to be those by classes. Then it's going to be moved into a mandatorial state where you won't be able to move without it. Just like now, you can't do nothing without a social security number. You pretty much out of the damn system. You can't do shit. You can't even get a damn cable TV without a social security number. And that's something you paying for, not something that they paying you. So especially you trying to get a job, you need that so-called social security number. Okay? And it says the small, and then with this deportation stuff, guess what? If you out of the system and you don't have identification and you verified, you are now illegal. What do you think will happen? What do you think they're doing to the people that don't have their visas and things now? They're deporting them, okay? But they'll do something worse if you're supposed to be American because they can't send you nowhere. It says also he compelled all, the small and the great, the rich and the poor, because what do all of these people have in common? Commerce. They all use commerce. They all have to use money. That's why it says the rich and the poor. And what should come to your mind? Lazarus, okay, the rich and the poor man. Okay, it says, and the free man and the slave, going into those that are locked up, because you have to have the identification system if you're locked up, to be given a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, signifying allegiance to the beast. So that means if you so-called put your allegiance to the beast, the Lord gonna jack you up because you're the slave. He ain't gonna take you because you a slave of the beast. You're a slave of the enemy. Just like when we went to the land of Canaan, the Lord said, kill everyone. He didn't say save the slaves. The slaves are innocent. They're just, they're just in there. If they're slaves, let them live. No, it didn't happen like that because they belong to that place that was receiving judgment. So they got to go too, man. So what do you think is going to happen to you if you were pledge your allegiance? Because you ain't pledge your allegiance to the Lord. You pledge your allegiance to the beast system by having that digital ore being buried into your ear, man. So now you say that this man is my master and I'm rocking with him. So if that's your master, if your master gets judged, you get judged. Okay, you're one and the same, man. Okay? Just like when you deal with a woman and you pop her, you become one flesh with that woman. That's your wife. When you have intercourse with her and you put your rod and you break her hyme, okay? You break her virginity her virginity acknowledgement, how you know that she's a virgin through that hyme, that blood. That's why you had the token. You now have been inserted by your master. You pretty much, it's like intercourse. That's why a woman can't re-virgin herself. If you get popped, you are no longer a virgin. You are a woman that has been tampered with. You're used property. So now that man ain't getting his virgin. He's getting you some used property, and that's not what he paid for. So the Lord is coming for virgins. He's coming for those that have not been inserted or have not been defiled under this society and under this place, man. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out. This is another information on the mark. These things they're coming. We want it to come. We want it to come because it's easy. It's an easy no for those in the spirit, man. It's an easy no. So with that, I say call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Until the next time, I say shalom and more not and never keep faith. Shalom. We almost home, Akiyam. And the few sisters that do watch, keep strong, keep faith. You know, stay on the right path. Just always pray and develop a relationship with the Heavenly Father, man. We're gonna need him more now than ever. All right, shalom.